Got any jokes for this week? I don't see anything written down.
I don't have a joke, but I can tell you a story.
All right, if you must.
So, two guys are walking their dogs in the city. One has a black lab and the other one has a chihuahua. They pass a bar and the first guy suggests that they go inside for a beer. The guy with the chihuahua says, "We can't go in there with our dogs." And the guy with the lab says, "Oh yeah, watch me." So he goes inside and the bartender says, "Sorry, sir, you can't bring your dog in here." And he says, "But this is my seeing eye dog." And the bartender's like, oh, gosh, I'm sorry. And he pours the guy a beer. Then the bartender notices the other guy and says, "Sir, you can't bring your dog in here." And the second guy also says, but this is my seeing eye dog." And the bartender says, "A chihuahua as a seeing eye dog? I don't believe it." And the second guy exclaims, "What? They gave me a chihuahua?"
That's just silly.
That's the point.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. From their secret underground studio, this is the Swish Edition.
I got a mouthful for you guys.
Dale and Scott are in the studio on the mics, and they fired up the antenna.
It has to come whether you like it or not.
And if you're willing to show it, they'll take a picture of it.
I actually think I might throw up.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, here are your new best friends. They're your hosts,
It's very exciting for me because this is the best show ever made.
Dale and Scott.
It seems like it should be December,
It feels like it.
but it is November 30th.
Hate it. Hate it. You know, it was 74 today in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I realize that. And
73 in Key West.
what about Key West, dude? At this time next week, y'all, while you would be listening to another episode of the Swish Edition, Dale and I will be in Key West, and we're not doing an episode next week. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you that now. I'm just putting
Fuck you guys.
putting that out right there at the 2:45-minute mark of the show.
We're not here for you.
We are here for you, and we'll be back the week after. But yeah, we deserve a December vacation, I think.
It should have been Christmas week.
Yeah, we're doing a show Christmas week, actually.
Not to get away from the cold weather, just to get
Yeah.
away from fucking
everything, right? Well, I'll tell you, I'm actually planning to do a Swish Edition Christmas week, also New Year's week. We're continuing right through the holidays, so we want to give our fans, our lovely, lovely fans, something to listen to. A break from their families during the holidays, because we are taking a big break early in 2022. Dale and I are planning a big, massive vacation. We're leaving slower, lower. And, well, we'll talk about that later. We don't know exactly when the dates are, but
I don't even know what's going to happen.
season 11 is ending at some point in early 2022. Season 12 will start early in 2022, but we're going to be taking a break in there somewhere. I don't know when that's going to be.
And I've been thinking about that break that we cannot talk about, and I think it could be extended.
We can go as long as you want to. Well, if it's going to be too long, though, I might have to take the podcast equipment so we can make shows on the road.
January through March.
He wants to go for 3 months. Where do you want to go?
You know where I want to go. There's no question about it.
Breaking news from yesterday. Jack at Twitter. You guys know who he is. He's
he has like the best @ name for
at
Twitter.
Jack.
Yeah.
Jack Dorsey is stepping down as of yesterday as CEO of Twitter. You get all your ats and stuff mixed up. Twitter stock rose on the news, and then it kind of tumbled a little bit. I don't know. You can't go by stock. It goes up, it goes down.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we've been Dale and I both invested in Lucid, the new electric car company. It goes up, it goes down, but it's pretty up from where we bought it.
Dude, freaking amazing.
Yeah. Are you tired, man?
I had a yawn and I tried to hide it.
Yawn
but then you
in the
called me
middle.
out, so there was no point in doing anything, apparently.
They're naming Chief Technology Officer. Say this name, please.
Parag Agrawal.
Thank you. He's the new CEO.
I actually know quite a few Agrawals.
Do you?
It's a popular name.
Dorsey is
Is it Indian? I think it's Indian.
Oh, definitely Indian. Dorsey is going to continue as the CEO of Square, which he co-founded in 2009. I mean, this guy he's created some of the most amazing things that we use on a daily basis.
He's created 2 amazing companies.
He's also,
I don't know how amazing Twitter is. It's become a dumpster, but
it's a dumpster fire. But I'm
it
not
was made for different intentions.
I'm not a huge. Are you a Twitter fan? I actually don't look at Twitter very much.
I do, but I follow
porny people.
No, I follow my news.
Yeah,
ones that I follow.
Okay.
A couple of profile people.
Right.
And
what's profile people mean?
And like streaming stuff, like for Binge Bomb.
No naked boys?
No.
There's lots of sex on Twitter.
I mean
you can have nipples and
there's things going around, and I think it comes down to MasterCard was the first one.
Yeah.
And MasterCard was the reason behind OnlyFans making a decision that they were going porn free.
Oh, right. And that lasted about a week.
But the thing is that there was no pressure on MasterCard to not accept these sort of payments, which is a legal product.
There's someone on the MasterCard board who must be like super, super right wing because they've made some major weird mistakes lately.
Right. If I owned a payment company, I'm accepting any payment of a legal product.
Right. And porn is one of the hugest money makers on the internet.
Right.
That's not what I wanted to talk about, but anyway.
But I know where you're going with this, and yes, Twitter with the whole Tumblr debacle going off porn
is stupid.
Twitter is becoming the new Tumblr.
It really is. It really is. Anyway, Jack has decided to step down because he thinks there's a lot of talk about the importance of a company being founder-led, but ultimately I decided that that wasn't the way to go. He decided that companies need to break away from their founders.
I totally agree with that.
I guess.
Because if it's your baby, right? You have an idea of the direction that you want it to be, and maybe what he thinks Twitter should be is where it's at. All right, and so it stifles
the progress.
Any progress of any sort of new things that he may not like. Is like, oh, I don't want that. And then you just get some fresh eyes on the product. I think this is great news. Great news.
Twitter has 211 million active users on a daily basis. Donald Trump is not one of them. He's still banned. I think that was Jack. I think Jack did that.
But
so maybe they might reverse that when he's gone.
Aside from that, you might not like Twitter. I actually do like Twitter.
Not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I find their timeline can be sometimes a little complicated, and I feel like they should fix that. I don't want to see this. What's even with the people that I follow? What's the top post?
Right.
I just want to log on and give me a timeline.
Right.
The most recent. From what I follow, the most recent post to the least recent. And both Facebook, Instagram, all of these social media networks do not follow that. And I don't understand it.
No, but there is a button there. I don't know if you've realized this.
They make it incredibly hard to find.
There is a button on Facebook that you can press that says most recent. And I press it every day because I don't want to see the same post 85 times from 8 days ago.
Right.
So I don't understand that algorithm.
Facebook finds it much harder to follow.
No.
I do know that with Twitter, that Twitter has an open source code, and there are actually better apps for Twitter than the Twitter app.
Oh, you can like use a different
you got to
delivery option.
You got to pay for them.
The Twitter shit.
But they give you what you want, which comes down to what I've always said is that if you want a better experience on social media now, this wasn't the case always, but now it is is that there is no reason. Facebook has 1 billion users. There's no reason why you can't charge money for this. Even if it's
what, to use it?
$5 a year.
To use it?
To use it.
Yeah.
$5 a year.
Well, they're making most of their money off advertising.
Right.
Yeah. Which is being screwed by Apple. Apple's kind of put a dent in that business for them.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love that
It's
part.
a continuing war. Anyway, I guess Jack is going to put most of his effort into Square and cryptocurrency. He is a huge crypto evangelist. So
I mean, that's the thing now. The thing is, you just got to keep up with it, and I find it too complicated. Like,
you have some.
I do have some, but the problem is always that new cryptocurrency, which is the one that always skyrockets because you can get in early.
Because they keep popping up every day.
It's complicated to buy because new cryptos are not immediately available on the exchange, like Coinbase or Robinhood. You got to wait.
What would stop us?
And then by the time you wait, it's already settled down. There's no potential for gains.
What would stop us from waking up tomorrow morning and starting our own cryptocurrency?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. You can go right now and make one. Right. It would cost you nothing.
What would you call it?
I don't know.
Dale Scott? Scottsdale.
I don't know.
Scottsdale crypto.
And I don't know what has to happen to make them become this thing. I don't know.
I don't either.
But early cryptos, which are the ones that you want to buy, are I find them hard to find. You gotta have a wallet.
Yeah.
You gotta go to another site, and you gotta sometimes buy another cryptocurrency like Bitcoin in order to buy the other cryptocurrency. It's complicated.
It's complicated and crazy.
So I only buy them when they hit the exchanges because they're easier for me to buy, and I know what I'm getting, and I'm on a platform where I know that if I sell, I can get my money back.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm a fan of crypto. It's just weird. There's just a lot.
It is weird. So how was your Thanksgiving? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Sure.
We didn't do anything groundbreaking. We had Dale's family over for a Thanksgiving brunch, and then the two of us ate a Thanksgiving dinner, just the two of us.
That was actually great.
It was wonderful. We ate it all.
Because by 11 o'clock, someone said what time it was, and I was like, oh, shit, I got to go home, and I got to make this thing for the dinner.
Yeah, because they were all going to another dinner, so they all left at noon. So we only had them here from like 10 to noon. That was perfect. And then
but it was
we
great.
had the rest of the day to ourselves. Oh, we love being with your family.
I now know what a barista at Starbucks feels like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. So Dale was making fancy cocktails, fancy coffee drinks.
I would never complain.
He was working his ass off making those drinks.
When I go to Starbucks and it takes forever to get my drink.
They were a lot cheaper here.
But I'm a stronghold believer that Starbucks especially Starbucks,
right,
that their drive-through menu
needs to be pared down.
Yeah. Because there are some drinks that you can order that just don't need to be gotten through the drive-through.
You need to go inside for that shit.
Exactly.
Right. Christmas has begun. I think it's official now, even though it's November 30th. It seems like, tomorrow's December 1st.
Christmas
so that seems like the first day.
Christmas happened November 1st.
I know, but tomorrow's the day that you're supposed to open the first door on your advent calendar. Right? December 1st, right?
Yeah.
Well, we need to get ours out. We've got a Nightmare Before Christmas advent calendar. We need to get it out.
It's not as fun the second time around.
It never is. Anyway,
what if you have one that had candy in it previously? I mean, that's got to be the
You'd have to reload it.
That's got to be the most disappointing 25 days ever.
You'd have to buy a new one each year, I think, because otherwise it's just boring. Anyway, there's a new Christmas commercial. You guys have probably seen it if you watch TV. Who watches TV anymore? Regular old TV with commercials. But there's a commercial with Kevin Hart and Catherine O'Hara. You guys know her from everything, but most recently Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Moira.
And Home Alone.
Home Alone. That's the whole basis of this commercial. It's for Chase Freedom, the new Chase credit card. And she's like walking through this department store screaming, Kevin! Kevin! And then she runs into Kevin Hart, which makes sense, right?
Right.
Because his name is Kevin,
it's a great commercial.
And she said, and Kevin asked Catherine O'Hara, do you always lose your family at Christmas? And she goes, it's a holiday tradition. Yeah.
I still think
it's a great commercial.
That's a great commercial, but I still think that one of the most fun is maybe the Hershey Kiss commercial with the Hershey Kisses as bells.
Dun, 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 dun,
and
dun,
it's
dun,
back now, but then right at the end, right when it gets fun, there's a little girl who takes one of them and then eats them. Ugh. They just play the original one. But I think the best one, which may never be aired ever again, was the Gap commercial with the little girls and the Moose commercial.
Wait, I don't know what you're talking about.
I posted.
Did you? What? No, I don't know this one.
The Moose commercial.
I need to see it.
It's a great song. All the girls are really cute, and it's just a fun. I think it's the Gap. I'm pretty sure it's the Gap.
Yeah.
It's either Gap or like, I don't know, Abercrombie Fitch and or whatever.
All right, I need to check that out. Send it to me. Can you DM it to me?
I will.
I need to see that. I also like the Folgers Christmas commercials. You know, when the guy, the son is coming back from the front lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta love those commercials.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Folgers. Yes, Folgers is not the best coffee.
No, by no means.
By no means. But
they have great commercials.
I've grown up with it. I've drank it many times.
Yeah.
Many times.
Okay.
And they now make K-Cups.
Do they?
Yeah. Oh. And I just find the coffee. I mean, I can't say anything more worse than what I've already said.
What?
But it's just not the best, and it's not the strongest.
No. But it is the best part of waking up.
Well, it's just a great brand.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
I mean, if you were looking for any American brand, Folgers is one
probably
of the top.
Quintessential.
Exactly.
Oh.
That and Campbell's soup with the melting snowman and the little kid.
There you go.
I mean, those are commercials that you don't need to ever remake. You just play them over and over
every year.
Again.
Every year.
So you get your bang for your buck.
Madison Avenue be damned. We're going to show the classic commercials for the rest of eternity.
Why not? Why not? You spend all that money. You spend all that money on someone to develop that thing. And when you get something fucking great.
Why would you do anything else?
Why do anything else? Just fucking play it all the time. That's why the Hershey Kisses one annoys me when the little girl picks the bell and they stop playing the music.
I haven't actually seen that one. So I'll have to check it out.
Another one that bothers me is the one where it's the dad and the daughter. We just watched it probably about 30 minutes ago. Maybe you weren't paying attention, but it's been on. I think it's like a medicine commercial, and it could be a great commercial. But the only thing I would change was it was like a daughter texting her dad who is senior, and probably she was worried because he wasn't responding. Maybe maybe he has dementia or something. I don't know what it was, but obviously his wife died, her mother died, and obvious, she's texting. It's like, "Where are you?" And so he's nowhere to be found. And all of a sudden, she walks to a bench.
It's in the park. Yeah,
finds him in the park.
Yeah, it was their favorite place.
Dad, why weren't you answering your text messages? And what he says is, "Oh, your mother loved this spot." But what he wanted to say is, "I didn't answer your text message because I want to be fucking alone, bitch. Just leave me alone."
Oh my God.
Because I didn't want to be bothered.
That's horrible.
But that's a normal family, not a commercial.
That would be a normal, yes.
A normal family would say,
you want to
I just didn't want to be bothered.
You want to rewrite the commercial.
Right. And I want to make it for AT&T.
I was ignoring you on purpose.
Right.
That's funny.
Get out of here, Wolf.
Get out of here, Wolf. It's an inside joke. Anyway, talking about Christmas coming early, CBS, for some weird reason, decided to show both Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman, two of their most classic holiday specials. They've already aired them. They were on last week before Thanksgiving. So if you guys missed them, you're shit out of luck. I assume that CBS will show them again.
They're not shit out of luck. They're going to air these horrible cartoons. Not even cartoons. They're stop motion.
Rudolph is stop motion. Frosty is animation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I assume they will show them again, but they also are available on Freeform. You can watch them as much as you want on Freeform. But, it's pretty crazy that they would show Christmas specials before Thanksgiving. It just seems a little wrong to me.
I don't understand why you're baffled.
I don't.
This has been the case for years and years and years and years and years.
I need content for the show, Dale. Okay?
Sorry, I am so surprised. Why would they do that? Why is Lowe's filled with Christmas stuff on October 20th?
Between Hallmark, Lifetime, Up TV, Netflix, GAC Family, BET, and others, there are a whopping 146 new Christmas movies this year. Can you believe that? 146.
I feel like that number is too low.
No, that's what Entertainment Weekly says. They have an article from November 15th that lists all the details of every single brand new Christmas movie available on basic cable for you all to watch. And the Wonder Years Winnie, you remember her,
yes.
Danica McKellar, she is the star of every single one.
I mean,
it's the same plot. It's 146 movies with the same exact plot.
I'm not mad. You work where the bread's butter, baby.
Jacqueline is listening to the show. She told us as she does. She is a huge fan of these Christmas movies. She and her mom watch them.
It's one of those things that is nice to watch because you don't have to watch it.
You can half watch it.
You can have You could just have something on and you get the gist of it by watching the beginning and 20 minutes of the end, and you know exactly the entire movie.
It's the same fucking movie. They just change like the parameters. Like, he's an architect this time. She's a baker this time. They live in snowy Vermont this time. They live in snowy Colorado this time. I mean, it's always going to be snowy. It's not going to be in Miami.
It's fantastic.
It's not going to be in Palm Springs. But it's going to be in Vermont.
Maybe that's what needs to be made.
We need to make the opposite
what
ones.
Needs to be made. It's the people who is like, I've had enough of this bullshit family to be forced to come here. Yes. And then you go away and then you meet friends and you have a great old time.
We need to make the anti-Christmas movie.
Yes.
We need to make
the anti-Christmas Christmas movie.
Right. We need to make the anti-Christmas Christmas movie with a bunch of friends who decide to go to Key West and wear bathing suits instead of parkas.
Right.
And they're going to cuss instead of saying nice things. And they're going to drink vodka instead of cocoa.
Right.
That's the Christmas movie I want to watch.
Right.
They also have sex before they kiss. Because they always kiss at the very end. And they never have sex. And they don't drink. I want to talk about the scary world that we're living in. I'm kind of really upset about this flash mob thievery thing that's going on in America right now.
It's not a new thing, but it certainly has increased.
Holy moly, it's scaring the shit out of me. I mean, I think I might be scared to go to a Nordstrom in San Francisco or Los Angeles right now. So you guys know about this. It's a surging U.S. crime trend in which groups of thieves swarm a store, sometimes as many as 80 people, and they ransack the shelves and then they flee with all their shit in their cars. It's terrifying, and I don't actually know how you stop this except to
the only way you stop
it armed
guards. Is you lock the doors and certain amount of people in at one time.
It's happened in a couple times at Northern California Nordstrom's. It's happened 6 times on Black Friday in Los Angeles, including a Home Depot where thugs stole sledgehammers and crowbars and then threatened the employees who were standing at the door trying to stop them.
Right. And they used those sledgehammers and crowbars to go to the Louis Vuitton and all
the fancy
stores to do the same thing again.
This also happened in Minneapolis at a Best Buy. It's happened at several stores in Chicago. And people are blaming social media for this because this is where they're organizing these flash mob thieveries.
Can't blame social media.
I'm blaming it.
You can't.
I mean, but that's what they're using to get the word out. Hey,
Maybe.
We're hitting the Nordstrom tonight.
Maybe.
Come on, y'all.
So you just make all stores close, lock your fucking doors.
I think that
all the stores just lock your fucking doors.
I mean, we've said this a million times. A million times. You and I, well, okay, first of all, you guys know if you listen to this show for any length of time, you know that Dale and I used to own a store and we used to be robbed. And we had groups of people, not 80, but we had three or four or five.
Our store couldn't hold 80. And if 80 people came in that store, we knew there was something fucking going on. If there were 80 people in the store, they would have took us bare. They would have fucked us raw.
Oh my God, Dale, stop. This is a family show. But it's true. Anyway, we did have a couple of thugs that came in and stole a bunch of jeans. We had a foursome, another foursome that divided and conquered us.
Yeah.
So that they could steal shit. Anyway, but this is a different thing altogether, a different animal, and it scares me, and I think we need to find a way to stop it. Armed guards would be a way. Tasers at the door. I mean, I think if they all came in, I would want a button that I could press that would like seal the doors with like bars, iron bars, so they couldn't get out. But then God knows what would happen inside the store to the poor people that were shopping.
It's easy to deal with. It's easy to deal with.
Shoot them in the head.
No.
But these people need to go to jail for life.
Just lock your doors.
They need to make examples of these people.
And it's 5 people at a time in your store.
That's ridiculous. Nordstrom is as big as a football field.
Doesn't matter. You do what you do. Or you just pack up. You just pack up and leave.
But that's what... Okay, so you're saying that, and we talked about this on the show before. We were saying that the Walgreens in San Francisco that were packing up and leaving and closing 6 of their stores in downtown San Francisco because of thievery, we were against that.
I'm not against that. Not at all.
They shouldn't run
because
they should fight back.
They're not running. Fight back. They're dealing with the laws that have been dealt to them, and the city laws have said
we're not going to prosecute these people.
Exactly.
And we're not going to try hard to stop this from happening.
So you just fucking leave. Then I'm done. I'm done.
I read an article today that, there's this huge rash of burglaries at people's houses in San Francisco.
No, that's a different story.
It's a different story, but it's kind of the same vein. These people who think that they can get away with stealing other people's shit. And I think this needs to stop. We need to find a way of stopping this. How could there be that many people? How could there be 80 people? 80 people who band together to go to Nordstrom to steal stuff.
Right, but when
how could there be that many bad people?
But when the city
what has happened to humanity?
But when the city says that you're just going to get a slap on the wrist for stealing $2,000 worth of product, then what is your risk? There's no risk anymore. There's none.
They should go to jail for 10 years.
Okay, well, then your problem's not with the people. It's with the fucking laws.
Laws need to be changed.
They've been told that this is what's going to happen if you do this particular type of crime. It seems pretty easy to me. I mean, if our city told us that if you go and rob the fucking Walgreens, that we're not going to do anything unless you steal above $2,000, then what's stopping you from doing that?
We need to have bigger. There needs to be repercussions of your actions.
It's just stealing of any amount. It shouldn't be a certain dollar amount. It should be theft in general.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care if it's a chapstick or a $5,000 purse.
Right. Life in jail.
You just don't do it.
You don't do it. We need to set those parameters.
Right.
However, so there was this article this morning in the paper, and it just upset me so much. I think it was in the San Francisco Chronicle, whatever the main newspaper is in San Francisco, about these people who were on vacation, and they're looking at their video cameras, their security cameras from their vacation. I think they were in Europe, and they were looking back at their house, and they're like, our house is full of people. People have basically done a home invasion of their house and were stealing all their shit. And they're calling the police from Europe and saying, there are people in our house stealing our shit. And it took the police like 2 days to go there to deal with this situation.
Well, that's an issue with the city.
It's a huge issue. It's a fucking huge issue. And these same people, they were burglarized. Their same house were burglarized like 7 times. And it's like, that's when I would pack up my shit and leave San Francisco.
That also makes me want to ask the question, why are you so different?
Well,
what are you doing?
What locks do you have on your door?
Right.
But really, seriously, I mean, if I was burglarized once, wherever I lived, and luckily, knock on wood, it's never happened to me. I've never been burglarized in my...
honestly don't know if I could stay in the house.
No, I would have to leave. I would be so upset that someone came into my house and took my shit while I wasn't there. Or a lot of these cases, people are home. That's even scarier.
Right.
Home invasions and shit. Why am I bringing this up? I don't know. I'm just upset about it. I'm going to skip the next thing, go down to Squid Game, because this scares the shit out of me, right? You ready for this?
I know all about it.
A man has reportedly sentenced to death in North Korea for smuggling copies of Netflix's blockbuster series Squid Game into the country. Authorities were led to the man after they caught high school students watching the series. The report states that Squid Game was smuggled into the country from China through the use of a USB flash drive. Squid Game is not available in China, but remains popular because of piracy websites. The Chinese are very good at pirating our stuff and the world's stuff. The smuggler faces his death by firing squad, while the students involved, who just watched the damn show, are facing prison sentences. This is why, if for any minute or any second of your day you feel sorry or any kinship to the North Korean regime, you're a fucking idiot. So
no one feels that way.
Okay, just want to make sure.
But there is a population there,
and I feel really they need to be. Why don't we just
that has a heavy hand upon their head? So they are going to follow the fucking rules.
So when we know shit like this, when we know stuff like this happens, a fucking TV show, and you're going to get killed for it, you're going to be your life is over because you brought a TV show into a country.
Yeah. Because it
this
shows
horrible, nasty
because
country.
It shows that there's a world out there.
Right. And I mean,
North Korea is one of the only, I can't at the moment, with drinking, can't think of another country that is so secluded.
No.
I can't think of one.
No, it's one of the last ones.
Right.
Even Cuba is much more open than
yeah, because they know of a West
They know
world.
of the other world.
They know
of the world beyond theirs.
Right.
But these people in North Korea don't have any access. They have no knowledge of the fact that there is a democracy in most regions of the planet.
Right.
They might not even know they're on a planet. They might, God knows what they know.
There's no news. There's no internet. There's no nothing.
So tell me why.
So when you get things like this, it's like,
I know.
It's like,
aren't we humanitarians, Americans, and British, and most developed countries? Wouldn't we say we need to go in and liberate these people and stop this fucking regime? Why don't we go in there and just say,
but that's not the
stop.
issue. But that's not the issue.
Stop.
The issue is if the United States was South Korea. Would you want another country to say we're coming and say stop?
Oh, of course not.
Because it only takes a couple of seconds to press a whole bunch of fucking buttons, and South Korea is just decimated.
No, and we don't want to decimate South Korea.
I think you just answered your South
Korea.
Question.
We love South Korea.
Well, you just answered your question.
No, but we don't want to decimate North Korea either, because the vast majority of the people that live there have no idea what they're living under.
Well, I told you the answer, so what do?
You don't know the answer. The answer is that we need to find a way
something happens
to go in and stop the dictator and free these people. Free these people.
I don't think that that's not a thought.
So why aren't we doing it? Why? I don't understand why the world isn't getting together and
because you're risking decimating a billion people.
We go in fast. We can stop them.
No,
they don't have nuclear weapons. You think they have nuclear weapons?
Yes, and I think Russia helps them. They only have like a couple of countries, a handful, maybe.
I'll talk to Russia. I'll get Russia. We'll go to Russia and talk to them.
They have treaties with, and both of them are fucking China and Russia. So you can't do it. So your hands are tied. So just fucking leave it alone and go to the next topic.
Can't believe we're talking about this on the Swish Edition, but it bothers me so.
Well, of course it should.
Bothers me so.
I mean, that's like someone having a fucking problem with Canada.
I love Canada.
And then someone's just going to fucking bomb it.
How is this for a transition? Dale and I went to a movie theater last week.
And it's just like I always thought a theater would be.
I think we told you we were going to go. Dale and I went.
Fucking irritating fucks sitting in the goddamn thing. I think all theaters, if you're at a PG-13 and up movie, there should be no one under the age of 18 in the theater.
Well, PG-13 means you need to be 13, dumbass. So...
No, because they can't control themselves.
All right, so just give you a little background. We went to Ghostbusters Afterlife, which we both really enjoyed. Yes?
Yeah, I'm a Ghostbusters fan, yes.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a really good sequel to the two original movies.
It was 100% paid homage to the very first 1984?
Something in the late 80s, yeah.
The first Ghostbusters.
But we were not a fan of the girly one with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, no, that was horrible. So we're forgetting that one. We're jumping to this one. I thought it was really well done. It's very different from the originals. It does not take place in New York. It's out in the country. But it was really, really well done. But the story here is that we actually went to a movie theater. First time since the pandemic started.
Yeah.
And, of course, we went on a Tuesday soon after the show aired last week. Yeah. And there were maybe 15 people in the theater.
Yeah, but it was all the things that's the reason why we don't go to a theater. Like, for number one, and this just goes for all the fucking Americans, when they buy something online, it's reserved seating. Yes. You literally pick your fucking seats on the app. And what do? We go there. There's two people sitting in our fucking seats.
They're sitting in our seats.
How do you get this wrong? How do you get this wrong?
There's 200 seats in the theater. There are 15 people in the theater, and there are people sitting in our seats.
Right.
I mean, and they were country bumpkins.
There were literally 15.
And they had no interest in moving.
And
they also had children who talked through the whole fucking movie.
That's why I don't go.
This is why we don't go to the movies.
Fucking hate it. But I was intent on seeing this in the theater because...
I did enjoy it.
It deserved that sort of viewing.
So we reserved our seats in the very final row, the very back row, because I'm worried about, people coming in shooting up the theater. So I want to be in the very back so there's no one behind me. But that didn't work out because there was a speaker directly above our heads so that it wasn't surround sound. It was like we were getting all the sound from the back right above our heads. So it didn't work. So we moved down about 8 rows and that was kind of perfect in the middle, right? Didn't you like that? And then it was fun. As long as
I wasn't next to this fucking family.
Yeah. We're not going...
Like, we can move if you want to. No, you paid for your seats.
Sit in your seats.
If I owned a fucking theater with reserved seating...
There should be someone in there.
I would be a fucking Nazi.
Why isn't there someone in there?
You did not pay for this seat. You did not pay for this seat. So move your fucking ass over.
Well, they don't... See, the problem is, though, Dale, and you know this because you were there... There's like 2 employees in that entire place. There's one person selling popcorn and there's one person taking tickets. Go to theater.
Theaters are going to lose in the end of this, so they need to do something.
Despite all their best efforts, I don't understand why do people want to go to theaters when we've got 85-inch TVs at home.
Not going to win.
I'd rather watch this shit at home.
It's an industry that's going to not win.
So the next movie that I really wanted to see was House of Gucci, which is out now. and it's in theaters exclusively. It's not coming to Paramount Plus until the middle of next year. So, but you know what? I'll just watch it in the middle of next year. I don't want to go to the theater.
That's the one you go to the theater for because there's going to be no fucking kids there at a House of Gucci.
All right, you want to go? Want to go today?
I'm not even interested in seeing House of Gucci.
Lady Gaga. She looks amazing in this.
Doesn't matter. I like her, but I just don't. I'm not interested in this story at all.
Okay, so back to Ghostbusters. Do you recommend it to the Swish Edition listeners?
Oh, 110%. Do
you think there'll be another one?
Yes.
Yeah, Mackenzie Grace.
And I'm hoping that this is I don't even know what you call it because it's certainly not. If you take the first two, skip the Melissa McCarthy one and go to this one, right? So this one paid homage to the first one.
Sure.
All right. And so can I say this without blowing anything?
No spoilers.
Well, then I can't finish
don't do it.
I can't finish my topic.
Mackenzie Grace.
But I think it would be great.
Oh, God.
But I think it would be great if the second one in New York City.
You want to go back to old school New York City?
Yes. And maybe it's something new or something similar like this one was to the first one, but the second one come to the second one.
Oh my God. You know what? What you just said is ridiculous and stupid and makes no sense, but I don't know. Maybe I can edit it in post and make it sound intelligent. But I get what you're saying. And I know where you're trying to go without trying to ruin it.
Because if I say any more, I'm going to give away the movie.
Don't do that. Don't do that because it's really cute and I want people to go see it.
And the ending's great. It is great.
And
if you go, stay through the previews.
Stay through the credits.
I mean, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant. I'll say this. Let me try this for the third time. Mackenzie Grace, who is the lead in this movie, is fucking amazing. She's probably only like 12 years old. You guys might know her from Stranger Things. She's also been on Young Sheldon.
Is she really just 12 years old?
She's somewhere in there.
That's not the girl from Stranger Things. I meant Big Bang Theory.
All right.
Everybody.
She's not on Big Bang Theory. She's on Young Sheldon. What is wrong with you today? I have to edit this whole fucking show.
Because you said Big Bang Theory.
And no, I didn't.
I looked at.
I said Young Sheldon.
All right, we'll just delete everything that I said.
I'm not deleting anything because that would be too much work. So basically, don't listen to anything that Dale says and just listen to Scott because Scott's got all the news and the views. No, you got a lot of shit wrong today. Mm-hmm. Right? No, he's mad at me now.
I'm not mad. I'm just not saying anything.
All right, got one last piece of news that just came out yesterday. It was announced that Channing Tatum and director Steven Soderbergh are going to helm a third Magic Mike movie. We'll be talking about this on Binge Bum later this week. But Magic Mike's Last Dance is being made by Warner Brothers exclusively for HBO Max. Soderbergh has a deal with HBO Max. He did last year. He did Let Them All Talk with Meryl Streep. That was the one where she's on the Queen Mary 2. You saw that. That was kind of fun. Did you enjoy that?
Am I allowed to talk? Yes, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Are you excited about Magic Mike 3?
Nah.
It's hot guys with their shirts off.
I was never excited about the others, but I mean, they were fun to watch.
All right, it's coming. It's coming.
Like a big storytelling thing.
In related news, the popular...
I'm not going to the theater to watch it.
No. We won't do that. We'll watch it here at home so we can play with our puds while we watch it. The popular Magic Mike Live stage show is now at Sahara in Las Vegas. It's the place that Dale and I went to right after we got married, actually. Anyway, the live on-stage show was conceived and directed by Channing Tatum himself, and it's going to be touring in 2022, starting in Nashville on April 6th, followed by Miami and other cities yet to be announced. So you guys can see the shirtless Channing Tatum dudes from Magic Mike in your home city. And finally, before we go, you guys may have heard that there has been gas shortages and oil shortages in America. There's certainly car shortages. Every time we pass a car dealership, it's like a ghost town.
They want to buy my car.
Toilet paper, all of that. But there's now a maple syrup shortage. Did you guys know this? The Canadian Quebec Maple Syrup Producers Agency that oversees about 70% of the world's supply of maple syrup has officially tapped into their 50 million pounds of syrup in their strategic reserve because they want to make sure people have enough syrup for their pancakes. The U.S. is their number one customer. I didn't know that. We're the number one consumer of maple syrup in the world.
I'm actually surprised because what we're buying as Americans, what most people buy, what I think, apparently maybe it's not if we're our number one supplier.
Yeah. It's corn syrup.
We're not buying maple syrup.
We're buying maple syrup flavored corn syrup.
Right.
You know, like Mrs. Butterworth and shit like that.
I mean,
we're talking about real maple syrup.
Real maple syrup has a very distinct taste.
Oh, and it's really good.
It's very runny and not thick like Aunt Jemima.
It's much.
Wait. Sorry. The Pearl Milling Company.
It's much sweeter, actual syrup.
It's really, really good.
Apparently, this harvest season made for a bad batch of syrup, meaning not nearly enough had been produced because of a warmer and a shorter spring season. The ideal conditions were not met, so they didn't get the yield that they needed from the maple trees.
It's just funny that there's a fucking maple syrup reserve.
What happened? I agreed. That's why I put this on here.
It's funny, but if that's your number one export, then why wouldn't you have it?
But what happens when, I don't know, when maple syrup runs out? What happens if climate change makes maple trees never make enough syrup anymore? It's just all going to be...
And Aunt Jemima, here we come. I mean, the Pearl Milling Company, here we come.
It's all going to be corn syrup flavored. Syrup. Yeah. Maple syrup flavored corn syrup for the rest of our lives.
Right.
Next week, we're going to be off, so don't look for us next week. We'll be back on December 14th with a brand new episode. It'll be mid-December. We'll probably have some Christmassy things to talk about. However, Binge Bum, the show all about streaming video, that's on this week, right?
Yeah.
Little new episode this Friday, although it might be off next week too because we're on vacation.
Not might be, it will be.
It will be. And if you guys didn't listen to last week's Binge Bum from last Friday, there's a really great interview on there. We had our special guest Jake Cooper on talking about the new Hawkeye series on Disney Plus, which Dale and I actually really loved.
I actually thought it was a really good episode.
Yeah. So you should check that out. That's episode 41. So there you go. All right, we love y'all, and we've talked so much about all kinds of wonderful things. If you have ideas of what we should be talking about in the future, write us at talkback@swishedition.com, and maybe later in December we'll have some giveaways. Dale, you have some beanies to give away. Binge Bum beanies.
Apparently I do.
Yeah. Talk about that next time.
Bye, y'all. They would have fucked us raw.
Oh my God, Dale, stop. This is a family show. But it's true.